say this word, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a gimme, gimme, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business. If you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme, 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 push, 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 step, 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 crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped. Just, you know, I feel like instead of us just being like, slavery's bad, slavery's down, bad whitey, bad whitey. I mean, all right, let's stop that. And everybody's smart enough to know that, I mean, we've been slighted. And we want ours. And I don't mean by like ours, 40 acres and a mule, because we're past that. But we need help. I mean, for us to be on our own 2 feet, us meaning youth or us meaning black people, whatever you want to take it for us to be on our own 2 feet, we do need help. Because we have been here. We have been a good friend. If you want to make it a relationship type thing, we have been there. And now we deserve our payback. It's like you got a friend that you don't never look out for. You know, you dressed up in jewels. Now America's got jewels and they paid and everything. And they lending money to everybody except us. And it's like, you know, everybody.
So just how much aid has the U.S. sent to Ukraine? This is a statistic breakdown of the money and the resources that United States gave to Ukraine for their war with Russia. Now, this doesn't have anything to do with United States whatsoever, whether it's a humanitarian thing or whatever. It doesn't have anything to do with the conditions in United States. Even though United States says that, you know, it has something to benefit from doing this, it's still unacceptable. While, you know, it's still homeless people, there's still communities where they're impoverished communities, there's still communities that needs a lot of reconstructing and things of that nature. It has a war in Ukraine and Russia has nothing to do with the conditions in the United States. This is the home of American citizens, and there's still homelessness, there's still joblessness, there's still crime is rampant. There's a lot of issues that America hasn't addressed that it needs to address in order for there to be a new anything. This is why I say before, you can't have a new world order at all doing the same old thing. You know, it comes to a point where you understand how the conditions and how certain things are made to exist. If there was no homelessness, there'd be no shelters. The shelters is the supposedly quote unquote the answer for homelessness, which it isn't. It isn't. And unemployment is the solution for joblessness, which it isn't the answer. Welfare isn't the answer. It isn't the answer. Because it still exists. These things will continue to exist as long as these programs exist. Now, as far as addressing the problem, combating the problem, and putting an end to the problem, that's a whole nother story. That's another story for another story. But this is a breakdown from January 24th, 2022 to May 31st, 2023 of how much support and aid that United States alone gave to Ukraine in support of their war with Russia. Even though there's a deeper reason behind these things. This is a factual and statistical breakdown of what it actually is. Total, $76.8 billion. This is as of May 31st, 2023. But to date, there's over 100 billion that was given in aid to assist them in that, whatever that is they got going on over there. It's not a war. I don't know what it is, but America gave Ukraine, this is statistically, 76.8 billion. Humanitarian, 3.9 billion. 3.9 billion, which is only 5%, and that is for emergency food assistance, health care, refugee support, and other humanitarian aid. That's 3.9 billion alone. Now, financially, they gave them 26.4 billion, which is 34%. In budgetary aid through the Economic Support Fund, loans, and other financial support. And come on, that's why Pac said you got money for wars but can't feed the poor. This is look. Security assistance, 18.3 billion, which is 24%, and that is with training, equipment, weapons, logistics, support, and other assistance provided through the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative. So that is 18.3 billion. Then you have weapons and equipment. Now here's the where we get to the military support and aid and stuff like that. The weapons and equipment from Defense Department stocks provided through presidential drawdown. Now I'm not sure what a drawdown is, but we can always go and get the definition of a drawdown. So a drawdown, it means the act of borrowing under a loan agreement on a particular day. Drawdown is also sometimes used to refer to an amount of money that is borrowed on a particular occasion. Although this usage is colloquial, drawdown date is the date on which funds are borrowed under a loan agreement. So that's what a drawdown is. A drawdown can mean the act of borrowing under a loan agreement on a particular day. And that was provided through the presidential drawdown. And I'm not sure how the president is responsible or reprehensible for having a drawdown. Everything is passed through Congress and the Senate, and it all has to be voted on. Which it's a democratic country. So this is where the people, the United States citizen, has the final say of what's to be allocated to where. I guess that's how it's supposed to go. But then you have another 4.7 billion in grants and loans for weapons and equipment. So that's 6% of their total money that they was given. Grants and loans provided through foreign military financial programs. So the total military was 46.6 billion, which was 61%. So as you see, all together in the red, this is all the military, the others humanitarian and financial. While you see the statement that Pac stated that it's been an ongoing in poverty, and we've been here assisting and being a support in the building and constructing of United States. So why is it that it's hard for the people that has the resources to not give those resources to where they're actually needed at, but you overlook us or the people here and you give it to others? So these are the things that a thinker has to think about. This is what thinkers think about. Other than that, they keep you in a state of a sleep state. That's the part of being like in the Matrix, the sleep state. So they keep hitting you, bombarding you with stuff in the media to keep you from focusing on things like this. Why is it so hard for us to put an end to our problems, but yet we have a solution for others' problems, for others' country problems, but our problems over here still has no solution to it. But they keep the people placated by continuously bombarding them with foolishness after foolishness after foolishness. And this is all psychological experimentation going on. But you have to be able to see through a lot of the things that's going on in order for you to come up with, hey, that's not right. That's a crime against humanity. You know, that's a crime. And first and foremost, why would anybody in their right mind want to start a war? That's stupidity. It's 2023 and you still having wars? Could you wake up one morning and bomb another country? You could still do that. We just came from a worldwide national crisis, from a pandemic, or whatever they call it, a plandemic. We just came from a national crisis and then wake up the next morning and now you want to start a war and feel as though that another country has to support other countries and other. This is why I say it is never going to be a new world order until they have a new mindset and a new way to go about having civilizations, re-implementing civilizations that overthrow all the empires and things like that, because we live in uncivil. This is uncivil. $100 and something billion to fund something that you don't even you don't have nothing to do with, while you still have people here in this country on the streets, on drugs, on all sorts, having crime is rampant and all this stuff, but you still have the audacity to give money and resources to another country. So let Pac keep going.
And it's like, everybody need a little help on their way to being, self-reliant. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about the album, about the Special Olympics. Everybody need a little something to be independent. No independent person just grew up and was born independent. You worked and you learned teamwork and you learned cooperation and unity and struggle, and then you became independent. And we have to teach that and instill that. And why is it that they want to do that? I mean, if this is truly a melting pot in the country where we care about it, and Lady Liberty got a hand like this, she really loves us, then we really need to be like that. And it needs to be the black kids. If there's a white person who got money, then he need to help them. He need to help black kids, Mexican kids, Korean kids, whatever. But it need to be real. And it need to be before we all die, and then you say, oh, I made a mistake. We should have gave them some money. We really should have helped these folks. It's going to be too late. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you got to pay your own karma. And that's when God make you punish. When God punishes you. Because I feel like, it's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for $36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic. That's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1,000,000 billion and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants.
We say to people that say, well, they earned it. Now you go out and you're earning it.
If they earned it, then I think that's good, and I think that they deserve it. But even if you earned it, you still owe. Because look at me, I don't have that mega money, but I feel guilty walking by somebody. I got to give them some mail. And if I know I got $3,000 in my pocket, I feel like it's wrong to give that person a quarter or a dollar. It's wrong. Only you know what you got in your pocket. And that's wrong. No matter what they do, if they take it and drink it, they take it and drink it. But, I mean, you got. You understand? And we all know how hard it is, and it's not about if you good or you bad. So since it's not about if you good or you bad, we know that because he don't mean he was bad. Or don't mean he's a criminal, or don't mean he's crazy, or a drug addict, or none of that. It just means he don't got. And ain't it bad that you got 30? I mean, can you imagine somebody having $32 million? $32 million. And this person has nothing, and you can sleep. You can still go to the movies and then these are the type of people that get humanitarian awards. Millionaires. How can they be humanitarians? By the fact that they millionaires and there's so many poor people shows how unhumane they are.